I do have younger officials that will call me a lot and ask me, Kyle, how did you get involved with officiating? How did you get to the level you got to? And that's a good feeling. And sometimes I do think that they're asking because maybe they like the way I officiated. Maybe they've seen a game we officiated in. And I've always thought to myself, try to go out and do the best you can, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's there, but you are around younger people, and a lot of these guys have been former players that call and ask you about it. And I try to give them a real picture, but I also try to stress to them it's very healthy. It's great to stay involved in something. But, and a few of them they've listened. But I think that for that reason, I have had a few come up after a game and talk to me, and they were very positive. So I think somehow I've impacted others with my officiating. When you officiate and you go to camps and you're around a lot of professional people, other people that are supervisors and things of that nature, and we all have real jobs. But people that you're around in this business, a lot of the people do have an impact on your life in one way or the other. George Evans just always had a professionalism about his body language and the way he interacted with you. And it set a precedence with me, because everywhere I've been and I've run into George somewhere, he'll have a coat and tie, always professional. So that just set well with me, because I'm kind of old school, and I look at things as when I talk to a young person, I try to interact in a way, hey, you want to be professional, get your uniform tapered, and when you go on that floor, you want to look like you're somebody. So you learn these things from other people, and you pass it along to the next person. But officiating does have somewhat of an impact in your everyday life because of the principles that we have to go by. And it teaches you to be on time. Time management is a factor. If you're traveling several hours to get to a game, and you have to be there by a certain time frame, so you got to manage those times in your time to get there. And then you got to manage your work life as well. So there's a lot of factors involved about what can come out of officiating, and it's healthy, and it creates a positive. While officiating and meeting my goals, that is, I think that's up to the individual. If you feel like you met your goals, I did feel like I met my goals. It's almost like going those first few years to camp, and you always hear this. They'll say, always be happy with what you get. Don't be one of these where you get a big game but you're the U2, or you're aggravated because you're not the U1 or you're not the R. That is so true about officiating. It really is. I mean, that's how people think about this. But, I'm happy with what I have achieved in officiating. It's been a great time well spent. It's been so much fun. Was it completely a smooth path? No. You're going to have peaks and valleys in officiating. That's just the nature of it. But I'm just excited that I got to officiate at the level I did, and I hope that I made people happy, or I think that the guys I officiated with were they enjoyed officiating with me as well. So it's been a great run. When you're officiating, you are gone a lot. Technically today you could officiate a game every night. But there are those times when you're going to miss out on family functions, special events, because you're usually officiating somewhere every weekend. But it is important that you manage that family time, because it is tough. Being away from your children or your spouse, and it is tough, but I was fortunate to where they backed me 100%. My entire family, my sisters, my mom, my dad, everybody involved. But it was, I think I managed it pretty well. I didn't take advantage of being away too much, or I always kept my job in perspective as well. But that is tough because even though it's seasonal, you are gone a lot, and then the summers can kick in as well with camps and things. So you're pretty well. It's pretty much a full-time responsibility. Being selected into the Alabama Sports Officials Hall of Fame is it's a huge honor, especially when your peers have a somewhat of a say about you becoming a member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, or Sports Officials Hall of Fame rather. But it's meaningful. The hard work involved, the process over the years of officiating many different leagues and being involved, but it does mean a lot to you, especially the peers, your officiating peers is there, and you're there with them. And someday when you're a little bit older and maybe someone in your family sees that, it brings back a good memory. But it's a huge honor because you love what you're doing. You love being a part of it. And the biggest thing is the camaraderie, the guys that you've made friends with along the way. You can't replace that. It's huge. It's when you mention guys like Greg England or somebody like that, I always admired Greg for. I thought he had the best mechanics of anybody ever officiated with. He was so smooth, and I tried to mimic that and incorporate it in my game, but I just couldn't. But I think about guys like him that and Richard Maddock and the guys we just rode around with and went to games. It means so much because they're there, and it's great to be a part of that.